So permaculture is this ethics-based design system which is based on how natural systems work, and it's about designing healthy human systems both in the garden, in society, and designing our villages and households and community organisations so that they also work healthily like nature. So when we think about permaculture in general, but also as a peacemaking mechanism, it's about bringing people together, valuing their contribution, but also making a focus on how nature is a unifying factor.
I am Antonia, I am from Germany and I am volunteering here in Kosovo, in Bozevce, since September 2018, and I am supposed to stay for 1 year because I am doing a 1-year volunteering program. And I really like it here in this permaculture estate of GAIA Kosovo because we have a lot of interesting tasks to do, and I like this kind of peace movement which is not related to going to demonstrations and which is not related to just writing articles or reading stuff, but it is actually doing something by myself.
What permaculture offers in this case is that it's like a sort of a Swiss knife of the future generations, I guess. I mean, I hope so that it will be used as such. The idea of it, I would say it changes the whole lifestyle and it just brings back life.
With the 3Ps project, Permaculture as a Path to Peace, I've been fortunate enough to come down to Kosovo twice to share ideas around social permaculture, and today the introduction to permaculture with people from GAIA Kosovo and their partner organisations through the Erasmus program. It's where you learn a lot about how to use permaculture ideas to grow food, to grow trees for fuel, to grow things like straw that you can build with. There hadn't been enough of an emphasis from a peacemaking perspective on the social aspects of permaculture. And it's still, I mean, the social aspects of permaculture are some of the most challenging. It's, of course, if you want to put a plant in a place and you tell it what to do, the plant generally doesn't move. Goats and chickens are more of a problem, they'll escape. But social permaculture is like, I think, our biggest challenge. And that's why it's a really important tool to use within a peace-building, peacemaking context. It's both about the tools that we use to work with each other, to have conversations and to have healthy conversations and to deal with problems that arise in a healthy and non-violent way. But, and that's social permaculture as a tool, but permaculture as a design system, as almost a philosophical way of living and being is a really powerful way to bring people together.
GAIA launched this project. It's called Permaculture as a Way Towards Peace, because, like, firstly, it's also within our context of our mission. So the idea of us is basically to bring reconciliation through caring about a bigger problem than, for example, nationalism, which divides us. Like caring basically for our life, which is way much more important than these abstract concepts of basically nationalism, when you tend to think that you belong to a group which has higher values or higher merits to deserve this land or whatever.
In the beginning I had no idea what permaculture would mean, but now I know more. after this three-piece program. And yeah, it's actually a really nice experience here for all of us. So I am here since last autumn, and I would say the biggest thing that we made was the insulation of the former red house. We still call it like this because it is made of bricks, but now it looks actually brown because we made the insulation out of straw and mud. It was really amazing to see the change and to feel actually the change, because then we had it warm inside in winter, and I never experienced something like this before.
Now dealing with this urgent matter as climate change, like the problem that we are causing with this heavy industries and you know, heavy ways of consuming it, is going to destroy us, but at least communities that are not resilient, which is the majority of the planet. I mean, really poor communities and people who don't have actually many opportunities and that make really like less amounts of money. We have only 12 years to combat climate change before we basically face ourselves with these very catastrophic events, which are going to obviously occur, because looking at this global scale of countries trying to establish certain agreements upon it, like we're really failing on that, and we still like repeatedly are doing it. So like the hopes are really low that we are going collectively to solve this issue.
Have this feeling that permaculture is actually a great tool for them to be more self-sufficient, to have more collective, as a collective, to be as a network. So you can have Serbian people, you can have Albanians, you can have Kosovar, you can have Croatians, and then you know you actually drop or you go beyond the borders.
Who are you?
So, I'm Alex. I'm volunteering in Bozevce for 1 year, and in Bozevce Permaculture Estate, let's call it like this. And I'm staying 1 year extra as an ESC volunteer under Erasmus Plus program.
So Alex, you were saying that you're involved in construction and building, so natural building using permaculture ideas here in Bozevce. Can you tell us about this structure that we're in right now?
So this was one of the first things we actually built in Bozevce, and it's a greenhouse with only second-hand materials from an old building that we dismantled 1 year ago. We used beer caps to fix the nylon with nails and cloth to smoothen the angles, and so far it's working good. We had some problems last year with the aeration inside, and actually like it comes to my mind also that like here in Bozevce permaculture is like a constant learning process. Like there is nothing that we succeeded from the first time. Like it's always a bit of failing to get to the point where you say I know or I understand.
Why is it important that you have a greenhouse here in Bozevce?
Because we have, let's say, two main focuses for the moment. One is to get some kind of food production. For the moment, it's growing. So like this is one of the goals of the place to succeed, to have some food production, at least to sustain ourselves, and in the future, why not to sustain other people.
During this EVS, we started to work actually on the property in Bozevce. So this house where we are, so we have this house which was like this when we arrived, with bricks, concrete, without insulation at all. So at the end of my EVS we actually did the outside insulation, so it's like a straw insulation of 15 centimeters, and then on the top you will see there is this plastering, which is made out of mud, straw and sand. We raised up the roof to be able to use the space under, to host, let's say, 20 people that can be sleeping like as a dortoir, you can say in English, I don't know, like sleeping area. Common sleeping space. Then a bit of outside, a bit of composting, a bit of gardening, greenhouse. reed bed to treat the water, grey water. We don't have black water. So compost toilets also. Animals, chicken house, chicken fence, dog fence also to protect from the dogs from the neighbors. So there is always some little
And the
things.
rocket stove.
And the rocket stove, which is just behind us. Yeah.
You know that we had the youth exchange in Mitrovica urban gardening
Yeah.
in May last year.
Yes.
But before that, we had
We had the workshop.
in Novobod,
Mm-hmm.
where I met Pippa for the first time, and she was our trainer. So that was really getting familiar with permaculture for me, but it was on this other aspect, the social aspect,
Okay.
where the aspect that actually I'm interested in the most, because this aspect gave me and the people who were part of it more insight on how we can apply permaculture in things that we do. For example, designing not necessarily a garden, but a project.
Yeah, okay.
So this idea of zoning and mapping, how are you going to spend the energy, and how are you going to take
To a project.
make sure
Yeah.
that you are in contact with stakeholders and the people that you're affecting. So this holistic approach, talking about needs and the effects of our, like the consequences and the effects of our doings.
Peace in my inside, let's say maybe. I don't know. Let's figure it out.
But is,
I mean,
is
I guess
permaculture helping?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, to have this vision, and then it's something that I really care, and I found myself into it. So I mean, I will, if I quit this place, I don't know, I hope not, but that I will continue into permaculture, because it's something that I see the right thing to do. And here, I don't know if I succeed to bring peace, but mostly reflection from other people, from that as a French person to come to live to Kosovo in a rural area without infrastructure, it's a bit crazy for them, so they don't really understand, but then after they're like, okay, why not?
How we live in community, how we live healthily, that's universal. It doesn't matter what background you come from, what language you speak, what religions. Some of the details might be different between different groups, but by getting people together to talk about these universal themes, about a healthy environment that we live in, about being able to have water, this precious, precious resource that is clean and plentiful and available to everyone in a community, those discussions can be really powerful at bringing people together.
Since everyone eats, like it's somehow natural to know where does that come from, that's something that you put in your system. And so for me, more and more, I think growing food and being connected with nature, it's so normal. Like you eat, you need to know how to grow what you eat. And it's the same, you get dirty clothes, you need to know how to wash them, know what it's going to do for you. Homegrown tomatoes taste much better. That's my message.
Çok